I started to become unfocused, very depressed, had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. And there were times, well, not times, but I would leave from work and go straight home and literally close the windows, sit at a little toolkit in my kitchen and literally begin to weep for no reason. Again, only since I started to date this girl. I was always good at my finances. I couldn't save my money anymore. Everything was breaking down in my place. I had to have it repaired. But what made it worse was it was upgraded. I now begin to hear strange sounds in this place that only me live. I would wake up through the night and hear like this old man's voice in the hallway, or I would hear steps walking, and I had carpet, but the steps were like they were walking on wood. I would hear my pots and pans moving. I would literally feel this heavy presence come into my bedroom. My hair would literally rise. Everything would go still, and I would feel these small tremors in my bed until it became violent. I went to my pastors, I shared it with them, and I could never forget this. And their wording to me was, Kevin, you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're up too late and you're not resting and, whatever. In other words, they were being nice and saying you were crazy. Okay. I know what I was experiencing. So my mother would come to visit me every so often. She'd say, son, why are you losing so much weight? What's going on with you? I say, Mommy, I don't know. And when I'm telling her this, I'm literally weeping and crying and telling her, Mommy, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm telling her I'm sorry for. I became very recluse. The only reason why I went to my job is because what was paying me to pay the bills. But the minute I got home, I would close up everything and shut down. You hear me? Totally tormented. I dread when the night fall. When I saw that sun coming down, because I know what is going to take place in here is going to be a horror show.
Wow.
It got to the point that when I went to my bedroom, as tired as I was, I would feel this invisible force pin me to the bed. And I'm trying to scream or say something and nothing can come out of me. One time when it happened, I had my television on. The television turned down. Whatever it was, turned the volume down. And literally pinned me. And I could hear these voices over my bed head. They were like different languages. The only person who would even listen to me would be my mother, and I would explain in detail. It was getting so bad, the voices now begin to say to me, end your own life. Right. It was almost as if they led me up to that point where it became like I was looking at it as a relief. Now, I never told my mother that part of it because I know she would have been worried and it would have been a whole new different thing. The voices then began to switch on me. And it wasn't a voice no more, actually. It was a feeling that came on me. And the feeling was, end the lady's life and then end yours. So one day my mother came by and she says, Kevin, listen, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, there's a lady up the street. She's a Christian woman. Why don't you let her pray for you? And my words to her, I said, Mommy, they are all crooks. Nobody is praying for me. Because I was so frustrated with the church at that point. Because this is a spiritual place. I came there with a spiritual problem and they had no idea what was happening to me. So I went to the lady, knock on the door. She asked who I was. I said, my name is Kevin. I'm your neighbor. You don't know me, but somebody told me that you pray for people. Now, when this witchcraft spirit on you, it agitates you. It makes you very impatient, very angry, particularly if someone is talking about God. They're quick to dismiss it or make fun of it or poke fun at it or just toss it to the side. So when she opened the door, she said to me, she did this. She said, son, they have you tied up. And when she said this spirit, that's what it was, a spirit of anger came on me. But I'm trying to subdue it because I'm doing my best to see if she could offer some kind of help. She invited me inside. And this woman, I didn't know she was a prophetess at the time. This woman pulled literally my file. She said, the house that you're living in, does it belong to you? I said, no, ma'am. I said, it's my mother's house. She said, you're going with a lady and her mother wants you to marry her. And what they're putting in your home, you will eventually end your life so that they could get the home. I said, no. That's what I'm saying to myself. I said, no way in the world that could be. She goes on to say, and at this point, I'm doubting everything that she says. In fact, I'm getting more and more angry. She said, where's this girl right now? Now, the fact of the matter is we had just broken up the day before. Nobody knew. I said, she's right here where we live in that island. So she said, no, she's not. She said, in fact, y'all two broke up yesterday. She said, to top it off, she's on another island with your shirt and your pants that she snuck out of your home on advice from her mother. And she said, son, she's going to come back and she's going to pretend as if she's making things right, only to bring those clothing back in your home.
Wow.
And she said to me, the day you put that on, you will lose your mind instantaneously. At this point, I'm still fighting in my mind. This cannot be true. I refuse to believe her. Then she said something I never discussed with anybody. She said, son, what I see further is not good. So I said, what do you mean? She said, the mother is undermining the daughter. I said, understand that. She said, one of two things are going to happen here. You will either kill yourself or you will kill her and then kill yourself. So that was it for me. She had it sealed for me. 2 days later.
That lady came back.
2 days later, the lady came back, came to the house. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. My sweetie pie. And I rushed up to her and told her everything the woman said. But again, when witchcraft was on you, even though I'm telling her this, I don't believe it still. Even though the woman pulled my card.
Really?
So
because you're blinded.
I'm totally spiritually, and that's what witchcraft does. So she was trying to resist me at first. And when I told her everything, she stopped. She said, who told you this? Of course, I was on a Christian then.
Now,
so
why would you tell that lady everything you knew?
Well, I don't know. Under witchcraft powers, I guess. I guess. So she said, Kevin, who told you this? And I said, don't you blankety blank blank blankety. So she said, follow me. And I watched her whole countenance just fell. She said, follow me. And she took me to the rear of her car, put a key in,
pulled out that outfit,
popped that back trunk, and my shirt and pants is laid right out in the back trunk.
Insane.
So I said, at this point, I'm like, how could you, I don't understand this. So anyway, I had some lighter fluid in my home. So I kept it there. The beach wasn't too far from where I lived. I took the stick that I found, and then I took it out, and I doused it with the lighter fluid and struck the match, which probably took about 2 hours to burn. Well, guess what? Not her, but her mother turned up the heat. 2 weeks later, I gave my life to the Lord. That was in 1996, May 17th.
If God's prophet didn't intervene, would you have wore the outfit?
Oh, definitely. Because I wouldn't have known. She would have got it right in there and put it right back there.
Thank God for mommy that told you, let's go to the some prayer.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Gosh.
So I started to have, a myriad of dreams. When I said dreams, the most horrific.
Kevin have a dream, you can put some money on it. We ain't no gambling people, baby. When Kevin have a dream, put everything you got on the dream.
Repeatedly. And I would be dreaming about these folks for the most part. And the dreams when they're not dogs coming after me, biting me, snakes. Repeated deceased people, deceased relatives or friends that I knew that passed, they would show up in my dreams consistently. When it wasn't that, I would have sexual dream after sexual dream. I used to wake up tired in the morning from sex in my dreams.
Wow.
Literally.
Crazy.
One Sunday I came from church. And what I would normally do was stop home, change, and go to my mom, because she would cook on Sundays, and I would eat there. And I met this commercial-size mayonnaise jar at my front door. All the wrapping on the outside was removed. And in this jar, it was halfway filled, dirty, filthy.
It's in real life?
Real life.
Okay.
And cut up in this jar was snake, cockroaches, rats, you name it. So I called my mother. I said, Mom, you won't believe this. And I told her, she said, Kevin, do not touch that. She came down there. She put it in the plastic, and we just threw it. If I had the sense I know now based on these things, I would have burned it. So as you can see, again, when it comes to witchcraft, the one who's coming after you, they understand. There are laws to protect you if they come after you physically. You may be great in size. So what do? How do I get the advantage over this person? I come after them spiritually.
Can I say this? Don't forget what you're finna say after this. I want to give you just a quick 30-second story of the opposite, that if he hadn't listened. So my grandfather, who was a pastor, he was married, and he started to date somebody else and married this other woman. You know, he was a Rolling Stone. So he did wrong by her, And my aunt always said that this woman said to her, I'm going to get him, and he's not, and you're going to see it in a few weeks. She went to go tell one of his ex-wives, and she said, oh, her root work is stronger than mine. And she just remembered she said that, right? My grandfather wore a hat like Kevin wears glasses. You just never saw him without this hat on. For 25 years, he has his hat. For 25 years, he owns his bicycle shop. For 25 years, he takes the hat off, puts it right there. When he gets off of work, he puts it back on his head. Same routine. This is what he does. A few days after this lady tells my aunt this, he puts his hat on the thing. He cannot find his hat anymore. Same hat he has put in the same place for all of these years, the hat goes missing. Wow. He's looking around. Where could the hat be? Nobody can find it. Kevin, a few days later, where does the hat come up? Same exact spot. Right. Says, wow, my hat come back. Where did that happen? My grandfather put the hat back on his head, was in the hospital a week later, dead.
Wow.
So much so, I never forgot that story. That's kind of the only story I ever heard that happened to until Kevin shared his story. But just earlier this year, I was out of the country and I couldn't find my headscarf. I looked all around, high and low, for my headscarf. The last day of the trip, it appeared in a very normal position. And I'm like, they're like, oh, we found your headscarf. You can throw it in the trash.
Right.
It's trash. If I had a lighter, I would have lighted it up at the resort. But I don't play with stuff like that. But continue on. I just wanted to share a testimony of what happens of the opposite of these things. This is real life stuff. That's why I don't take gifts from people. I don't take, oh, I have a gift for you. No, thank you. Throw it in the trash. I let people know ahead of time before they see me in public. I don't take any gifts from anybody because it's a point of contact for a witch. Go ahead, Kevin. I need you to finish your point. But.
So the dreams start to come dime a dozen, and they were tormenting dreams. And one night I was in and also the sleep paralysis. You guys know what that is, right? Sleep paralysis?
Yeah, yes. I actually had that happen to me a couple times.
Well, for those who don't know in the audience out there, sleep paralysis is where you're conscious, fully conscious, awake, but you cannot move. And the truth is it's a spirit that's holding you down. That spirit can come two ways. Either it comes through a generational to-do, or someone is projecting witchcraft at you. They're sending spirits to torment you. Anyway, I was having this repeatedly. One night, I was in my bedroom, and I was literally sitting up watching the television. Again, I felt when this presence came, and it was an evil I could literally feel it. Everything went silent, meaning that I stopped. The TV is still on, and I just froze, not afraid, but to see what's going to happen. I look at the end corner of my bed, Tiffany, and I didn't see this thing because it's invisible, but I watched this thing sat, and I watched the indentation of a human hip on the corner of that bed. This time I'm a Christian, and I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave. I watched it sign some more, determined, and the scriptures started to come, and it just left. And the whole feeling left. 2 nights later, I woke up through the night. Why? Because I hear this invisible creature flapping and flying from one end of my room to the next. And it turned around. A piece of righteous indignation came in me. And I sat on that bed, and the scriptures began to flow. I heard this loud screeching scream, but right after that, because I had like these blinds and these vertical blinds, literally God is my witness, I watched these blinds part like the Red Sea, and the screeching loud evil sound rushing through the screen here.
Wow.
So for me, my friend, when people come talking nonsense to me, but witchcraft isn't real, or someone saying they're witch, and I'm saying people have no idea of the implication these people represent. After this lady, we ended. Years later, I got involved with another lady. And I said to myself, what that lady did to me only could have been preparing me for what I was about to get into next. Because things got worse.
It got worse?
Things got worse. When I said worse, things got worse. And the thing about it, again, for me, when it comes to dreams, it all starts right there. And I would dream about this lady just about every night, but I would always dream about her and her father. And in the dream, she's always, now remember, at this point, I'm a Christian. In the dream, and this is why the armor of God is key, in the dream, she's always inviting me where she is. Like I had to cross a line It was like the only way that they could have any kind of effect on my life, I had to write. So every dream, she would be, come baby, come over here. And one time, she was trying to invite me. It was like I was dressed to go to a service.
Jesus.
And she was standing up across from me. And I saw her father at the rear, my right peripheral. And this guy is blood naked. Blood naked, and he has his hands like this, and his legs like a crab, and he's walking, passing me. Right. I had another dream. In the dream, the same lady, she's at a four-way crossing. And at this four-way crossing, she's wearing this pink lingerie, right? And high-heel pink shoes. And I'm passing. Now, to be clear, in these dreams, we already finished our relationship. I don't go there anymore. But this is the evidence she's sending curses at me. So she's wearing this pink lingerie. She said, Kev, let's get back together. And while she's saying, Kev, I taking off over here. I run in over here from her. And I watched this girl twist her neck like this. And this huge vein came here. And these big, huge boulders, they had to be like about 13 to 14 feet high and just as wide. And I watched, for whatever reason, she couldn't move from where she was. And I watched this lady grab these boulders as if they were paper. And she threw them in the air at me. So I'm running. But as I'm running, I could see the shadow on the ground from the rocks in the sky. And I knew this thing was going to hit me. And as I'm running, I turned and braced to be hit. And all I heard was boom, 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 boom. And I heard a second one. Boom, 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 boom. There was this invisible shield around me. Put on the whole armor of God. And the invisible shield, when it hit it, every one of the rocks bounced right back in a direction. Let me take you a little bit deeper. The first girl.
It's deep.
No, you get deeper. The first lady, we've been broken up. And again, the dreams were coming. And I had this dream one night. Well, fuck, I was actually on my bed reading my Bible. And I was kind of frustrated because it's like the dreams won't stop. So I slid out of the bed, give a 2-minute prayer, Lord, reveal to me whatever it is, whoever's doing whatever to me. Something happened that is not normal for me. Crept back in the bed, went straight to sleep. However, my spirit appears in the mother house of this girl, the first one. And I'm hovering in the ceiling area. I can't see no flesh, so clearly it was my spirit. And I could see the mother bed, the floral sheet, and the bed head is right where the window is, and the window curtain is the same design as the sheet. And I could see where the mother was apparently laying down because that was kind of messed up, but the other side was fixed. And there was a bedroom in that room. A bathroom, and the bathroom door was cracked open. And the light was on, so I assumed she was in there. My eyes projected on her nightstand. And on the nightstand, Tiffany, there was a small white square paper with a white candle sitting on it. I don't know how this happened in the dream, but I zoomed straight in on the paper. And on the paper was Kevin Ewing. 3 days later, I back into a daughter who we have broken up now. And I said, I have a question for you. I said, I'm not crazy. I said, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I just need you to answer. And I asked her about the description of her mom's house. And she stepped back and she said, how would you know that? Everything that I described about the room, I didn't tell her about the candle though.
That's right.
Right. Everything was on point. She confirmed everything. So this is what brought me to the reality of this book and the rules. This real. And the whole idea is for Satan to make you believe that this hocus pocus and this just poison is a witch